Okay, welcome guys. It's Mike Newton down here at Latham Golf Academy. We've got this video here. We're going to take a little look at how we start the downswing. It's a very big question in golf. And this video here, I'm going to keep it very simple here and give you guys an idea of how we start the downswing, which part of the body starts it, and how we can actually relate it to actually throwing a ball down the range like I've just done there. So one of the biggest questions I get asked by a lot of people is what starts a downswing? Which part of the body? Is it the weight shift? Is it the hips? Is it the arms? Is it the hands? Is it upper body rotation? There's so many different things, and obviously through a golf swing there's a lot of moving parts and it all happens very quickly. But what I tend to find with many pupils here through coaching sessions is the start of the downswing tends to start with the upper body. Okay, and what I mean by that is when they get to the top of that backswing here, it tends to be either an upper body rotation here where the sort of top half sort of spins out, or the hands and arms sort of start it and they end up sort of throwing out, and obviously that can create path issues and obviously shape of shot issues. So really it's trying to get the right sequence as you start the downswing. And like what I've just done there, throwing that ball, is very much a similar process as what we're going to do in a golf swing. So you think, if you leave that, put that club on the ground for now, get a golf ball in your hand, and you can do this at home, back garden if you've got enough room, or in a field, somewhere like that, and just sort of basically throw some balls down that range. You know, just literally get there, out, and throw it down there. Okay, and just then think about what you're actually doing to do that process. Now obviously throwing a ball, we do it quite naturally, you know, we get there and we throw, but let's break it down. Let's have a little think about what we're actually doing to create that throw. So really what we're doing here is, bear in mind I'm going to talk about a right-handed golf here, obviously reverses if you're left-handed, but I'm going to go on my back foot, my trail foot, my right foot here as I load my weight, similar to a backswing here, just fractionally turn and rotate into that trail side, and then we're going to push off here. So basically I'm going to use the ground here, I'm going to push off that right side, I'm going to have a little bump across, which is my weight shift, into my left side, and then I'm going to turn my body, open myself up, and then release my arm, and then obviously release my hand for that ball to throw down the range. So let me just do that again for you. So it's there, shift, turn, release. Okay, and you know, as I say, we do that really quite naturally, but let's try and take that into a golf ball here, you know, or into the golf swing should I say, and try and get that same sort of process. So we get to the top of that backswing here, we're slightly loading that right side as we've made that rotation in that backswing, and then from there we're very much going to use the ground. So from there we're going to very much push off, we're going to have that little bump across with the hips, okay, to really sort of start it. And as you have that little bump there, so this is not really going to start with hands and arms here. So again, this is one of the biggest problems I've found with a lot of pupils. They get to the top of the swing, they're ready to start the downswing, and obviously on the downswing is where we're going to actually make contact with this golf ball. So everybody sort of gets to the top there, and then it's hands and arms out in front of them, throw it at that ball because that's what I want to hit. In a way, you've got to have the concept that this club head is really the last element that's going to strike that golf ball. And there's a lot sort of happens before the club actually gets to the golf ball. So we'll get to the top of the swing as we rotate it around this sort of right thigh slightly. We're going to use the ground, we're going to push off there, which is that little bump forward. Okay, into that left side, and then as we get to there, we're then going to start to rotate the hips as we hit that left side of the body, and we're going to turn and open up. That's then what brings the arms down, which brings the hands down, and then eventually that club head into that golf ball as we come through. So very, very similar to that throwing of that ball, isn't it? So we're back foot there, we're transferring, we're bumping, rotating and releasing. Okay, similar thing here. You know, you could even break this down a little bit here and sort of get to the top there. Okay, feel a little bump, and then just start to then turn and then release. So just hit little shots like that, just to try and get a bit of a process of events happening here, and then obviously build that up into a flowing motion. So top of the back swing, we're going to feel a little bump. So you feel my weight pressure just move across slightly. Just start that again. So there, bump, rotate, hit. Okay, and then just try and then start to flow that up more into one motion and just build this up gradually, not too much speed to start with. Maybe just keep it quite sort of smooth so it's up to the top of the swing, down and through, and then build more and more speed in that as you're working this on the range. First of all, get into that back garden, onto the driving range. I know it's hard, you're buying your golf balls, but you can just throw them down the range. You're supposed to hitting them. Feels like a waste of money there, but maybe just do this at home. Back foot there, throw some down and just think about what you're doing to throw that. If I said to you, right, I want you to throw that as far as you can down that range, you're going to really get back here, you're going to really shift, you're going to really use the body, use the ground, and then use that release of the arm to get the maximum distance of that throw. Lovely. Okay, so if you're struggling maybe with that first movement of that downswing, getting the right movements in the right sequence, then give this little tip a go. I'm sure you'll find it very beneficial. Build it up from a slow motion into a sort of 3/4 with hardly any speed, and just drop the speed in as you go along, and I think you'll find some big improvements of how you start that downswing. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this process. Have you used this drill? Is this something that you found beneficial? Go away to the range, come back to me and let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you haven't already subscribed and you're enjoying the content I'm doing, please consider doing so. Logo in the bottom right hand screen, MNG. Hit that, hit the bell icon to get notifications any future videos on my channel. You'll be one of the very first ones to watch it. Still offering online lessons for many of you guys out there. We're doing some great work with a lot of you viewers out there, which is superb. So there's a link in the description down below. You can go and check that out and see what that process is all about. And hopefully we'll catch up you all very soon.